Hey guys, Brian and PS4 Trophies, and I'm going to show you the location of all 54 golden gnome statues here in Garden Warfare 2. Now, the first 14 are going to be in the backyard area, which is the hub world, if you will. And you can do a lot of solo quests there. You can do them in co-op if you want. And then the rest of them are all going to be done in the various multiplayer maps, which you could do on your own in private mode as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first 14 in the backyard battleground. Now, on the plan side, enter in on the into the garage here, and sitting on this bench in the back, very easy to spot, is our first golden gnome statue. Now we're going to return here in a little bit, but first we're going to go outside and we're going to go head this way out here, and there's going to be a soccer field, and you can see the scoreboard just out in the distance there. And we need to get to the top of that. Now I'm using the pea shooter for a lot of this because he does have the little speed boost. And when you do activate the speed boost, it allows you to jump higher to access areas you couldn't otherwise access with other characters. So we're going to jump up here. You can probably do this from the street level as well. It might be easier. And wait for my jump to recharge, which I just did right there. Jump up and collect the gnome. Now we're going to get the next one in the over here by the docks. So we're just going to jump down to the street, take this little shortcut path, drop down, and it's going to be behind a grate. So these are going to be in the open world area. We do have to do some that are specifically in the zombie area that we can't access with the plant. But before we do that, we're going to go down into the sewer, which is underneath the main battlegrounds in the center between the two forts. So we're going to just travel down this way. And there's going to be actually one right behind those pipes over here to my right, which I can't access with this character. So first I'm going to head down here. Now, unfortunately, I had an issue with my capture card where it kind of crashed during the recording of this, but you're going to see the location of where it was down this path here. Turn to the right, and you can see the where it used to be. So go ahead and pick that up, press and hold circle. So now what I'm going to do is do a respawn, and that allows me to change my character. So I'm going to go to the Citron here. And it's going to respawn me right past, right by the one I passed. So we're going to go back over here. Now he has a special ability if I hold triangle and activate into a ball. And then from there I can activate another ability with R1 that'll kind of allow me to charge up and then speed across over here to pick up this gnome in the corner. Now we're going to go and warp back home, and then we're going to go to the area where you do a whole bunch of main story quests for the plant faction. And here you can see I have these 3 warp portals that are open. So what you want to do is teleport into each of these, complete all the quests, and then each area is going to have 1 gnome statue. Now this is Rose's area, and all you need to do is hit this button here. So you shoot it, and then it'll reveal the gnome statue. Now we're gonna have a lot of these instances where we have to shoot the push button in order to get a gnome. That is the first instance of it. So go into the next area, which is the yellow portal here, and complete all the quests here. And then once you've done that, you can go back here into this path, and you can see the gnome statue right in front of us. So we're going to pick that up, and then head over to the third and final teleport. This one is going to be located right in front of us as soon as we zone in. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the garage. Now the first gnome statue, we just passed it right there. This area won't open up until you complete all of the other plant quests. Now before you go through that next set of doors, turn around and there's another button that you need to shoot. And pick up the gnome once it appears. And now I'm going to go ahead and switch teams. I'm now a zombie. And we're going to just kind of go around the outside here. And you'll see this gnome statue. It's in the into the grave site here. So we're going to pick that up. Did a quick little character change, really for no reason. And now we're going to head back to where the zombies' 3 quest lines are all at. Now each of the 3 areas have a multiple series of quests you have to do. So we're going to start in the going from left to right here. Go in the purple first. So we're just going to take the stairs up, and this one's going to be in the very, very back of this area. Now once we've picked this up, we're going to go into the center teleporter. And as soon as you enter this one, it's going to be just to the right. Right there in the driver's seat of that car. So the final one, the blue one, that is going to have, it's actually going to be in this little off room here, this bedroom. So you just got to jump in here and you can see it sitting there in the corner. So next up is the final area after you completed all the zombie quests, and you can jump down here. Once you're down here, if you look over here to the rocks, you can see the statue right in front of us there. You can use the trooper if you like. I'm going to just use this guy's jump kick ability to get over here. Again, you can use the trooper. He has the little rocket jetpack that'll help you get up there as well. Alright, so next we're going to do all the rest of them in the multiplayer map. So what I'm going to do is set a private play match with just myself. Now I'm going to go into the Suburban Nation for the first set of them, and I'm going to go through each of the maps. Now you can go to the crazy settings and select speed boost craziness. I also highly recommend you select low gravity, which I didn't do for this first one. Now for team setups, go to zombies and select none. So it's just going to be your team. You're not going to have to worry about getting shot. And now we're going to start in Zen Peak. Now you could do these in any order, but you're going to want to follow this river here. And now this has 2 exit points that lead to a waterfall. The other one has actually 2 waterfalls separated by a rock. Make sure you go to the single one here, and then jump down and back. And then you'll fall into this little hidden cave to collect the gnome. Alright, now I'm back up top where I just jumped down. Now I'm going to go to the exact opposite corner of the map. Now you can see I have the crazy speed on, and then with the pea shooter's speed rush ability with R1, it makes them go real fast. Now unfortunately I don't have low gravity on, so I have to wait for my recharge here. If you had the gravity low on option on, you can jump up here without any ability. So jump up there and you can find the gnome statue. Now we're going to head over to the Colizeum. Now I'm going to travel along the outside. And then as we travel along the outside, I'm going to see this statue here. So right down here, what I'm going to do is just turn right back around in the corner. And you have to do this as the pea shooter or the imp if you're on the zombie team. The other characters won't be able to reach it. Now on the exact opposite, if you could just go through the center and come out the opposite side, there's going to be one of those push button things that we have to shoot. Now I'm sure there's an easier way to do this without having to kill yourself. But I'm going to jump down and kind of turn around, and we're going to see the button that we have to shoot. Now I died, so I'm going to respawn, and then I'm going to go zoom over there, and there's now a new area, a new thing that opened up that is going to allow us to grab the gnome statue. Now you can see with the low gravity, which I do have on now, in addition to his R1 speed rush, I was able to jump way across that the center of the Coliseum. So there's the statue that is now uncovered. So go ahead and pick that up, and we're going to go over to the Lunar Landing map. Again, this is also in Suburban Nation. Now for this one, just kind of travel along the outside, and what we're going to find eventually is a drill coming up through the rocks. And it's going to be just down, just ahead of us here. So there's the drill that we're looking for. It's coming through the rocks. Get up on top of this thing. It's a little tricky. And once you do, just press and hold the circle button and you'll get it. Now from that drill, we're just going to continue along the outside here. And there's going to be this, I guess, blue laser grid thing that we can go through. And just travel up here, and you got this this area here. Now we're going to look for another push button that we need to shoot. Again, I do have all the zombie team turned off, so it's just the plant team. But after you shoot that, this area will open up, so drop down and pick up that gnome. Now head over to the Z-Tech factory. So this one, just kind of find the center open area here. Now this, I'm going to kind of jump up high, but you'll see it's in the corner across from me over here. And both of them are actually going to be in this area. This one is behind these bars, so go ahead and pick him up. And then we're going to go just a little bit over here. And then way off in the distance is going to be a button that we can shoot. Now we're going to have several instances of this as well, where you have to shoot something way out in the distance, and then the gold gnome statue will be brought to you. And it didn't look like it, for some reason, registered my first hit, so let's go ahead and do it again. And here it comes via a balloon. That's it for this map. We're going to go ahead and head over to the Time Park. Now this one is kind of tricky. There's a lot of teleporters here. There's Egypt in front of us. So we're going to drop into here. And then there's going to be another one of those grates that we can go. And right behind here in the grass is the statue. So go ahead and pick that up. Now we're going to go head into Rome. Once we're inside of Rome, there's another push button that we can shoot. It is hidden and covered by some ivy. So it's right there, and it's going to reveal it where the pot is below it. Alright, so heading over to Sandy Sands. Now this one is going to have two, one on each end. So I'm going to follow this water all the way to the end until it takes me to the river. Once I get there, I'm going to look up high on this side of the building here and shoot that. Now eventually a boat is going to bring the gold statue over to us. So it'll eventually make its way to you, so go ahead and pick it up. Now the next one is going to be in the exact opposite side, so we're going to travel all the way back. And then you're going to see a gold, pot rather. And there's the pot, so we're going to break this open. And then jump up there. Of course, with the low gravity cheat turned on, it's going to be easy to get up there. Again, I'm doing this all in private play, so there's no one else in this game, just me. And I turned off the enemy team. So heading over to Boney Island. Now this one is, you're going to want to find this area over here. It's kind of tricky because your spawn point is going to be completely different, probably. It's over here by C on my Suburbanation map. So I'm going to drop down over here. Hidden in this base of this wall is the gold statue. Now the next one is going to be kind of in the center area. You'll recognize it. You'll see some eggs right in front of us there. So keep going past there. You got these trees and the waterfall. Now there's another button we have to push, or shoot rather, way out there in the distance. That'll reveal the statue. Alright, let's go over to Frosty Creek. Now Frosty Creek is a fun map, one of my favorites. I do enjoy this one a lot. Now what we need to do is find the sawdust mill, which I happen to actually spawn at. And once you're there, there's going to be some wrecked cars over here, and on the back of this truck is the gnome. So we're going to go ahead and pick this one up. The next one's actually going to be really close to where I happen to be. So again, go to the sawdust mill, and opposite of it, you're going to see this truck. So this one, we need another button we have to shoot. And this is going to travel along on a log. It's going to take a little while to get to you. So go ahead and collect that. And that'll do it for Frosty Creek. Now we're going to go play Herbal Assault, because this is the Zomburbia map that's not available on the other game modes. And there's going to be 6 of them in here. And this is as soon as you spawn, immediately before going to your capture objective, come over here to this corner behind the tree and pick up the gnome. Now from there, we're going to go over to the first capture point. And then after you capture it, you're going to head towards the second one. So I did a little editing and we captured it. Now before going over there, there's going to be a house right here with the orange lines across the door. Now you need to open it. In order to open it, you need to shoot the button. The button's actually right behind the fence. So once you've shot that, the garage door will open, revealing the gnome statue. So we're going to continue on. Now we're going to head after that previous capture point in the Zen Park here. There's 2 of them in this area. The first one's going to be kind of on the left-hand side, and I'm completely losing myself here. But there's going to be a cage with some scorpions in it, just to the left of the capture point. And there's the scorpions. Now once you're there, there's actually an open cage, and on the left side here, inside the box, is the gnome statue. Now, I had to actually do a second playthrough of this one, so I'm back in Zen Park again. And then here's the capture point. Now just past it is going to be a dock, so we're looking for that dock. And there it is. Now this one is going to be behind the grate on the ground over here, so we're going to jump over with the low gravity, not a problem with the jump. Now we're going to jump up from here and we're going to head into the zoo area. Now be careful when you're going to the zoo area here. One of your teammates may trigger the warp door, which is right there. Don't go through it because you'll pass it. Instead, come over inside of here. You can blow this thing open, and it'll reveal the gnome statue. So the next one in Zomburbia is going to be at the very end. Now you have to go to the dining hall, the gallery, and the library. To get the gnome statue, you need to go to the library. And I can get there from over here. I'm sure there's a couple other ways to get down here. But there's another button that we have to shoot, which happens to be right there. It'll open up the treasure room to our left. And then you can see our little guy right there we're looking for. And that'll be it for Zomburbia. Now we're going to head to Moon Base Z. This is also an herbal assault. So at the very beginning, as soon as you're able to go, before getting to the capture point, come down over this way, and if you look up high in the rocks over there, there's another button that you can shoot. This will trigger an asteroid. And the asteroid is going to reveal the gnome statue. So we're going to go ahead, we captured another point here, we're going to go to the moon area here, welcome to the moon. And as soon as we enter this structure here, immediately turn to the left, and there's another button we can shoot, and the gold statue is going to be at the top of this garbage pile. Alright, so from there we're going to actually go to the next one. And keep moving on, keep moving forward. And then you're going to come out to this area, and you see that little spinning thing with all the hands on it on the left side, so make sure you stay to the left. And then there's going to be an opening in the fence here. You can drop down on this platform to collect the gnome. Just look for the spinning hand thing. Alright, so next up you're going to come, and there's going to be a capture point right in front of the, or right behind this big drill in the center of this area. Now there's going to be two gnome statues here. The first one I'm going to get is going to be, before we get to the capture area, at the base of this drill, drop down over here, and if you look down, there's actually a secret tunnel. So just kind of aim for these glowing crystals. And then there's this tunnel here. Now once we're here, there's another push button that we have to shoot. This is going to lead us to another secret area. There's also going to be a warp out of here, so if you want to just get back up top, you can go through that warp right in front of us. Before you do, turn over here to the left and get the gnome. Now in that same area, you see the capture point right there, just in front of us. Keep going past it, and you see these chomping things inside of this this thing is the gnome statue. So pick that up, and then towards the end, you're going to have these series of purple pipes. And for this, you're going to have the speed boost on. I don't think you can do this without it. So we're going to get up here, and if we look off to the left, you're going to see the gnome statue. So we're going to hit our R1 boost here with our pea shooter, and then with the low gravity, we're able to jump all the way over here to pick up that well-hidden gnome statue. And now we're going to go to Gardens and Graveyards, because there's two maps that you can't access otherwise. The first is the Great White North. Now for these, you need to play as the zombies. You can't be the plants. So turn on the, make sure you're a zombie, make sure you turn off enemy plants. Now we're heading towards our second capture point. Before we get into it, veer off to the right, and there's a path over here, and you see the snowman. You're going to have to shoot it, and that'll reveal the gnome statue. So now we're going to head towards the third capture point in the Wintry Games area. Now here there's going to be a Yeti's mouth you can enter right by the capture point. So go up this ramp here. You're going to have to blow open this right here. So pick that up, and then we're going to go to the next area. The next area is actually going to have 2 statues. The first of which, you can see kind of that tree house area. First one is going to be underneath this bridge. You're going to have to blow open this wall to collect the gnome. And then the next one's actually going to be left of where I'm at now. So if we continue past that, there's a lake. Once you're on the lake, jump to this little small patch of snow. And then you're going to shoot another block over there. And up from the water is another gnome. So go ahead and pick that up. Now from there, we're going to actually go up towards the next capture area. The next capture area also has 2 gnome statues. As we go up, there's going to be one to the right of the capture area, and there's one to the left. Now we're going to the left side here first, and we're going to go up. And then you're going to see these 2 collection of trees with a box right next to them. Once you get to this point, look for a platform you can drop down to below. It'll lead you to a secret cave. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of jump off and kill myself. And I'm sure there's probably another way to do this without dying. So now we're going to go up the hill here. And just to the right of the capture is another button we can shoot from a distance. This right there is just to the right of the fence. And with the low gravity on, it's not going to be very hard to jump up here. Without the low gravity, it'll be much more difficult. And now we're going to head to the Seeds of Time, the final map here. And this is also in the Gardens and Graveyard. At the very beginning, again, as the zombie, make sure you have the plants turned off. It'll be easier. Enter the gift shop here. It's just to the right as you enter the this amusement park here. And you can pick up the first one. Now the next one is going to be after that you captured the first point, and you're going to go through the little warp zone. As soon as you do, there's going to be a building here, right by where the purple teleport door is located, and you can pick up that statue. And then after you captured that point, go through the left teleporter, and stay to the left. You don't have to go through the left teleporter if you don't want to, but once you go through it, go off to the left side. You see the roller coaster there. Once we're here, we just got another block we have to shoot. And if you wait here, you can see the gnome is being hand-delivered to you. And I'm going to completely fail and fall off, but it doesn't matter because I collected the statue. At any point, you can quit out, by the way, after you capture, get a statue. So after going through the next teleporter, we're going to this area here. There's actually going to be 2. The first one, look for the statue in the center of this area. Just to the right of it, you're going to turn and see a waterfall. Behind that waterfall is a block you can shoot. And right in the souvenir stand is our first gnome statue in this area. There's going to be another one here. Low gravity is going to totally help. If you're using this character, his jump kick will also help. And you can see it's right up there. So we're going to jump over. If you don't have the low gravity on, you can jump and then hit R1 to do the kick, his kick ability. All right, that's it. We need to do one more thing. We need to respawn, and we need to respawn as a plant, because the final one is going to be in the defense area, and unfortunately the zombies cannot get there. So I'm taking the pea shooter here. I'm shooting myself over here. If you don't make this shot here, you can jump up with this R1 ability. And then it dropped down, and you're going to see some fire over here in the corner. And that is our final gnome gold statue. And we got the Gnomore, I can't even pronounce it, Gnomore trophy. Now, once you have all the gnome statues, you can go to the Chamber of Gnomes. Now, you can actually go there after you collect just a few of these gold statues. And in order to get access to that, go over by the docks. And there's going to be a telephone that's going to be ringing. So pick this up, and it's going to tell you to go and collect a whole bunch of gnome statues. I've already collected all of them, so I was able to just do all of it right there, right away. And then after you've gone back to it, it's going to ask you to go and get a present, which is this bomb right here. Now with the bomb equipped, go ahead and towards the sewers, and to the bottom of the sewers. And then you're going to find this little guy here that you can set the gnome statue. And blowing this open will lead you to the Chamber of Gnomes. Now getting down here is going to unlock a trophy for finding the Chamber of Gnomes, as well as give you, if you found all the gnome statues, some really good treasure. And the treasure is going to be in the back of this area. But I just thought I'd throw this in here just so you knew how to do it and what you can get once you found all the statues. And here you can see a display case of all of the gnomes that we've collected. We got the No Man's Land trophy. And that's it, guys. I want to thank you for watching. That's all 54 golden gnome statues. Appreciate it. Hit the like button, comment, and of course, subscribe.